Alright, hello, and welcome to this video of a little test here, actually. I'm kind of checking out this new feature that was added to Overwatch recently, these replays that you can find in the career profile on your Overwatch. Anyone can access this, there's no extra download, it's not only PC exclusive, nothing like that. Anyone can access it. So I'm looking at this and I will be analyzing my most recent competitive match, breaking down some of the decisions I made, and trying to figure out what the heck was going through some of the people's heads during this match. Trying to see some of these flanks and some of the positions. And honestly, this is really amazing that they did this. This is absolutely outstanding because. Okay, I was gonna say, it's so weirdly quiet. So, this really lets you check out some of the cool features of the game and some of these strategies, because sometimes you stumble upon a really good team and you just wonder, how did they play so well? And this really lets you go into that and figure out like some of the positional choices as well as some of the like team composition choices. And it looks like this team that I played against had a pretty normal composition, like a 2-2-2. And honestly, those are some really good picks for this map. The Reaper, especially for the DPS choice. When you're on defense, Reaper can get up to high places really easily with his like teleporting skill. And if he needs to drop down and do some damage and then needs a get out of jail free card, he can just Wraith mode away. Super good choice for this map. Any kind of sniper does well. There's a long sight line right down this hallway into that choke point where the attacking team has to come through. So any kind of sniper choice is honestly pretty good, whether that be, oh my goodness, yeah, no, whether that be Hanzo or Widowmaker or Ashe in this case, and then an Ana as the healer, which again, if your Reaper needs to go down there and deal some damage, having that good sight line straight down the middle with her scope does really well for you. So it looks like we have all chosen our heroes for this match. So we're going to go ahead and start it and see how this goes. Um, you know what? No, we're not. No, we're not. We've talked about the enemy team's composition a little bit. We've only really talked about their DPS, though. Winston is amazing for this map. He has the jump that can get him up onto this high ground. He can drop down, do a lot of damage, a lot of cleave damage with that weapon, the Tesla cannon, and then once he starts getting poked a little bit back, he jumps up here, gets to safety, gets healed up. Very good choice on defense. Also a pretty good choice on offense. Um, then you come over to here. Now, some people may think this is kind of a weird choice. A lot of times, actually, Orisa is played on defense here. Now, Orisa and Winston are both main tanks, so you generally don't play them together. You don't see that really happen too often. However, Orisa does have that really good shield that she can put down on the point. She can put it down up on the sledge, and if need be, the Winston jumps right up behind that shield. If people come in behind, he drops his, gives people time to react to the attacking team, and that goes well. But we don't have an Orisa here. Another good choice would have been D.Va. With the extra mobility and the defense matrix to eat up some of the damage coming in from the enemy team, that does really well on this map. Especially, they don't know our team composition yet, but especially with 2-hit scans and a Bastion and a Pharah, when you really have the long range damage coming in, especially when you're running a short range team like Winston and Reaper, you want to have a way to really mitigate some of that damage, and D.Va's defense matrix comes in handy with that. However, they did not make that choice either. I actually kind of like the choice that this person made. This person down here, the Zarya player, choosing Zarya is actually a really good decision with the current team composition they have. Since Reaper and Winston are both get in your face, do a lot of damage, get out alive, preferably, heroes, having those Zarya bubbles to jump in, absorb a lot of damage, get a lot of the charge for the Zarya, and then gives them a little bit of time to get some damage of their own and then get out of there, that is a very good choice. So I like that coming from Billy of VAs here. I see it. Billy Mays. Do you guys see it? The way they did that? That's actually clever. And then we talked about the Ana. Good choice. Good choice. And last but not least on their team, the Moira. Moira is a very mobile healer. She can phase out when need be, and she also puts out so much healing and can put out a decent amount of damage too. Now, unfortunately for them, they don't quite realize this yet, but since we have a Pharah and a few hit scans, that can actually spell some trouble for this composition. The only two people that could really take care of that Pharah are the Ana and the Ashe that is currently floating in the air up here. And you know, the Winston is a good choice against the Pharah, and so is the Moira. So it's not too unfortunate for them, but it is a little bit of a compositional disadvantage, I would say. Now we're going to go over here and analyze my team. My team is being really stupid right now. Not making good choices compositionally. So we're going to start over here. Pharah, decent choice for attack on this map. It can be kind of troublesome though, because you don't really have a lot of opportunity to get behind cover when you're up in the air. It's a very wide open map in the air up here. It's very good for the sightlines for the Ashe to find a Pharah just floating around up here. However, with this cover, in order for the defensive team to do any damage, they have to stay by that cover and poke out. When they poke out, that Pharah is up here and raining rockets right down on their heads. So it's not too terrible, but it's not the best. Running the McCree and the Ashe on offense here isn't that great of a choice, but it is good to always have a hit scan in case the enemy team does have a Pharah. Now, I feel like McCree would be a much better choice than the Ashe on offense here, mainly because for the Ashe, you restrict your mobility by trying to ADS, and when that happens, anybody up here who may be a hit scan, their Ashe, in this case, has free reign on you. You're not moving much. They have more cover up here. They have a better sight line up here than you would, and they can just rain trouble down onto you. Other than that, our team... Well, actually, no. There's a lot wrong with our team right now. So we've talked about those two and the Pharah. Let's talk about our 4th DPS, because for whatever reason, people thought it was a good idea to try to run 4 DPS in a competitive match. That stuff really only happens in quick play. It's ridiculous. But anyways, right now you see we also have a Bastion. I don't know what this person was thinking of. I really don't. Running Bastion on defense on Horizon Lunar Colony isn't a terrible idea. You put him up on this ledge. I'll get to it eventually. You put him up on this ledge up here, over there, straight ahead of us, and put a shield down in front of him. He can just rain bullets down at a really high velocity. Another good spot is up here. A lot of teams try to take this left side point, or this left side choke to get through, and block a little bit of the damage with the cover here, but if the Bastion gets up there, that's just a free reign into the doorway. But anyways, the Bastion on offense is not a good choice. There's not really a good opportunity for him to set up and rain damage on the enemy team. And like I said, we really don't need 4 DPS. I don't know why you're doing this. Then we'll move over here to our healer choice, our support choice. I don't like this decision. When you're running a bunch of fragile heroes, i.e. 4 DPS that I believe all have 200 health except the Bastion has 300, you want to have someone that puts out a lot more damage, especially if you are the only healer and the only hero that can really heal themselves other than the Bastion, but that doesn't really do too much. Now also, the Zenyatta can only heal one hero at a time. That is a big disadvantage when we only have one healer, and it is Zenyatta. However, having that Discord Orb does help to do a little bit more damage, but we don't need that. We need another healer. And then here's my choice. Like I said, Winston on attack is actually pretty good on Horizon Lunar Colony. You have a lot of mobility, you have the shield to put down, and though it may not absorb too much damage, it does do a little bit of something for you. You can come into this choke, put down the shield. It's a big dome. It gives a wide range of movement, You can shoot through it a couple times if you're one of these DPS or the Zenyatta, and then you move into the side room and move along either outside or up these stairs. Now, Winston, like I said, very mobile, can get up on these ledges, do a little bit of damage, a little bit of cleave, and try to move some of these heroes out of position up here, like this Ashe or this Winston up here. However, playing one tank and one healer that doesn't put out too much damage does not bode well for my team. So let's see how this goes. And so, like I said, you can see, jump up here, I was wanting to try to move some of these people out of position. Jump up, come around the side, and potentially jump over here and do some cleave onto these heroes. However, since all we have are 4 DPS that are not very mobile, and a healer that is not very mobile, and one healer at that, though I had that orb on me, it did not help too much. As you can see, the enemy Winston came over, surprised me, actually, and then the Reaper teleported his way over and killed me. Our Pharah was, of course, taken down by their hit scan, the Ashe, and like I said, that would probably happen. Our Bastion decided it was a good choice to try and charge up by himself, decided that was a poor decision to make, and it seems like he backed off a little bit, though not for too long, and he got flanked by the Reaper and the Zarya and got taken out. Meanwhile, our DPS, all of our DPS are dead, and our healer got killed in the backline as well. So I gotta say, from this enemy team's perspective, they are probably very happy with the way this match is looking. Having 4 DPS on the enemy team, one of which is a Bastion, terrible choice for attack on this map, but, you know, they have to be pretty happy with the way things are turning out so far. Now let's talk about this spectator overlay a little bit while we have a breather. As you can see in the top right, that is my team, Team 2. We make some switches. Not very smart ones, but a few switches nonetheless. Switching over to the Brigitte in order to put out a little bit more healing is not a terrible idea. When you're playing Brigitte, the only way you get some healing, though, is when you're connecting your rocket flail or rocket mace or whatever it is with the enemy heroes. So you need to, you need to deal damage in order to heal as Brigitte. That causes some issues with this composition. This composition that we're running right now is a double sniper. So in order to get in close, you want a little bit of backup, right? That doesn't really happen too much with the composition we have. Me and our Roadhog are really the only two that would be good on getting in close. I do like kind of having this split long range and short range composition, though. It does do a little bit, but our DPS, it'd be preferable if we had one sniper in this situation. Now, the heroes that they chose were Widowmaker, Hanzo, Roadhog, and Brigitte. Talked about Brigitte, let's talk about the Roadhog. The Roadhog is actually a very good choice. There are a lot of low HP targets on the enemy team. The Zarya has 400 HP, the Moira has 200, the Winston is their highest HP hero, and he only has, I think, 500 HP. So Roadhog gets a hook in, pulls in an enemy, does a lot of damage on that first shot, and then the teammates are supposed to back it up. That is a very good choice for what we're dealing with here. I do like the Widowmaker choice to counteract this Ashe and this Ana. Very good counter sniper, Widowmaker is, in order to take out the Ana and the Ashe. Whenever I play Widowmaker and I see the enemy team has an Ashe, I always get happy, because killing Ashe with a Widowmaker is so unbelievably easy. And then Ana, however, is a little bit more difficult to kill with the Widowmaker. She's a little bit more, I don't know, thin, I guess. She's a little bit harder to shoot, and she has the Sleep Dart and the Bionade in order to mitigate any kind of incoming attack. So the Hanzo, I don't really appreciate this choice. I don't think the Hanzo is a good idea on attack on this map, mainly because he is not very mobile when coming out here. Okay. So let's see what just happened. Let's back it up just a little bit. Oh boy. Okay, so these changes are coming in. Let's try and find out where this Roadhog is. And actually, There we go. So let's watch the perspective of this Roadhog. So like I said, a lot of lower HP enemies. Zarya gets hooked, gets a Discord on her, and... let's see, I forget. Okay, there we go. Gets a Discord on her, which causes extra damage to be dealt, and she gets taken out. I like what the Brigitte did. She stepped out in front to block any shots from the Roadhog coming in, or anybody else on our team. That is very smart. Now, unfortunately, our Widowmaker seems to have been flanked by the Dancing Reaper up here. Yep, here she is. Nice dead Widowmaker. And that is the danger of running a sniper on this map when you know there's a Reaper on the enemy team. He can get up into these flanks very easily, and you don't know it. Now, like I said before, I don't like the Hanzo choice. It's not a very good decision to choose Hanzo on attack on this map. The reason being a lot of wide open space for the enemy team to shoot at you, and you have that very low mobility as Hanzo when you're taking your shots. Now, you can jump out of the way, but then there's a cooldown on your jump. So let's see how this goes. Now, I took shots from this Ashe up here, so I tried to get out of the way a little bit more. The Reaper was coming in to the side. Let's follow the Storm Arrow a little bit. It looks like he's probably going for that Ana, perhaps. Or maybe... I don't know what he's shooting at. Maybe the Ashe. Oh yeah, he's shooting the Ashe. Nice shot, actually. Right through the mouth. Oh boy. Right through the mouth. That's not pretty. All the blood splatter and everything. But the Reaper, like I said, really great hero choice on defense here. Can get in behind, can flank really easily. Our Hanzo and our Zenyatta apparently have not realized that there's a Reaper here. And now they seem to have, but our Hanzo's aim is not as good as I thought it was with that shot he took. So I just now noticed the Reaper as well. And meanwhile, the rest of our team is over here doing things as they do, or dead. In the case of our Widowmaker, I don't like what the Roadhog is doing. It's not smart to go out in front like that. You want to try and take some of this cover to block any incoming damage. That Ana just landed a nice Bionade onto the Roadhog, meaning that he cannot be healed right now. One of the worst things for a Roadhog is having that Bionade on you. The biggest get out of jail card free that Roadhog has is his self-healing. When that gets taken away, he is actually really easy to take down because he is such a big target. I like the Moira throwing in her orb here, her damage orb here, to try and deal a little bit of extra damage. I think it would be smarter if the Winston jumped down to that Roadhog to deal more damage, and if the Ashe was shooting at the Roadhog as well. That would take out the Roadhog very quickly with this Bionade on him. The Brigitte, very smart choice to go in here, block some of that incoming damage, but unfortunately she does not seem aware of what's happening around her, and therefore she cannot come and help me with this Reaper that is about to kill me. Now I tried to put down a shield in order to block some of this damage, but it did not work out too well. He did manage to kill me. Our Zenyatta, for whatever reason, decided to try to flank the Reaper, and our Hanzo, I guess, decided to just give up on the Reaper and start looking that way again. And our Brigitte did notice the Reaper. Oh man, that's actually a pretty accurate flail whip shot thing. And then the Roadhog, I guess, also may have noticed, but he is reloading currently. So, like I said, Reaper can just get out of jail free. Roadhog, however, misses his hook, lands a really great shot that deals a lot of damage. However, it seems like, no, the Reaper did get taken down. So this is a perfect opportunity for our team. The Zarya is back in spawn. She has no charge. So when she gets back out here, she's not going to be doing too much damage. We're under this pass here. It's hard to shoot under there because there's a lot of cover from these flanks up here. When you're playing the Ashe, which I don't know where she actually went. Oh, it appears she's down here. That's a good choice. However, you want to be wary of that Roadhog. If he gets a hook in on you, you're dead. This Ana has a tough time shooting down there too. And again, you want to watch out for that hook. You want to watch out for the Hanzo and the Zenyatta. However, this Winston's making a really good choice. He drops down, starts damaging the Zenyatta, and he will most likely win that fight. The Winston kills the Zenyatta, jumps up top, did what he needed to do. He gets into our backline, and the Ana rains down a really fantastic Bionade onto our Brigitte, our Hanzo, and our Roadhog, and the Roadhog is healing right as that happens, so he gets no health from that self-heal, gets no health from the health pack, and I don't think he really realized that. Now, unfortunately, our Brigitte decided to charge in by herself, and she is going to be promptly taken out because of that choice. So the Widowmaker comes back around. The Hanzo manages to take out that Ana, but then he gets taken out himself. I don't see where that happened. Oh, up here. So the Hanzo managed to get up here and do a flank on the Ana and start glitching out like crazy. But the Winston, like I said, high mobility, gets in, kills the Hanzo, and takes care of that DPS. The Widowmaker is shooting up there, but she is missing her shots and landing them on this... Yeah, and landing them on this cover. I can understand that as a Widowmaker player myself, because when you're tracking that hero, when they jump to the side, you try to shoot them as they're going, but sometimes you shoot as they go behind the cover. The Roadhog makes a good choice. He backs up, he waits for his teammates to come in. He kind of doesn't want to give up this position though, and he makes a poor choice in this instance, trying to go into trying to go into the side here and 5 it. 1v3 it, rather. However, you have a DPS dealer, a tank, and a healer all on that flank as well. So I jump up, I see that the Zarya is up there, I decide it's not a good choice. I try to go and group up with our Roadhog, and our team starts making some good progress. The Widowmaker takes out the Zarya, I don't know where that happened. Looks like right here. And it looks like she had the help from the Zenyatta Discord Orb and some regular orbs coming in. The Roadhog manages to take out the Winston, which is good. It gives me more free reign up here. I take the high ground, I jump in, put a barrier up here, and I take some of that damage from my teammates. I try to block some of the bullets from going to them, since I am a tankier hero. So again, our Roadhog took out the enemy Reaper, but it looks like he's not in a good position. The Moira is here healing up the Ashe, and the Ashe is dealing a lot of damage to our Roadhog. Not only that, but you have to take into consideration the Ana on the side here. The Winston's about to come back in, and our Brigitte got hit with a nice sleep dart, meaning that she is not in there with him, stunning enemies or healing. So he comes in, he gets bionaded. That is perfect for the Ana. That is a really great job. She bionades him. She manages to get the Ashe as well, meaning that she can be healed up faster. However, the Hanzo comes in the side and takes out their Moira. Our Brigitte is back awake, but it won't do too much now because of the fact that our Roadhog is down. We don't have any tanky bodies anymore to put on the point. And she gets killed off very quick by their Winston. Now, I like this approach that our Widowmaker is taking. It's a good angle to snipe people through this doorway. However, the Winston did put down his bubble, meaning that it's impossible for her to shoot any enemies right now. Looking back over here, Zenyatta is coming back in. I'm coming back in on the Winston. We'll see if anything like that manages to happen. Their Winston comes in and contests the point. So again, dead Brigitte, just the Hanzo on the point. He does get an Orb of Harmony from our Zenyatta, and our Zenyatta is coming in to try to help him. However, that's probably not a good choice. Widowmaker is taking shots down here at the Ana and the Ashe. However, again, that's probably not going to do too much here. The Zenyatta does see that it's a bad idea to come in through that way and decides to go through the other way. However, the Hanzo and me are on the point. And then the enemy Winston pops his Primal Rage. Our Zenyatta, for whatever reason, decided to go for Transcendence right then and there. I get slept on the point by this Ana. She bionades me, and the Reaper comes in and kills off the Zenyatta, and it looks like he'll probably kill off our Widowmaker as well with his ultimate. So at this point, I'm like, okay, this Winston's really not working out for me. I'm just going to Primal Rage. I'm just going to try to deal some damage, and then I died. So thankfully, though, for us taking the objective, The Roadhog comes in, and so does the Brigitte. The Roadhog comes in using his whole hog, however, the enemies are behind this pillar, but this is actually a good zoning ult. So it's not a poor decision in my opinion, but it's not really the most effective one either. So the Reaper gets nano boosted, meaning he can take extra damage and he deals more damage as well. The Hanzo comes in, pops his ultimate to keep people off the point, but it does not work too well. The Brigitte is up here still, and I don't know if she's actually done any damage, so I don't know if she's managing to heal our teammates at all, but this Ana has a really nice angle here on the Hanzo, meaning that he will probably be taken out very quickly. And that is the end of that push. I decide that it is time to switch off the Winston and go to something I'm more comfortable on, being the Reinhardt. So I decide to wait for my teammates, because that's what you should do in this game, you know, team-based game. Our Widowmaker does manage to get a nice shot off on their Moira, which is good opening pick for us to come in and do some damage. The Moira puts out a lot of healing, and it is a very unfortunate thing when the Moira comes in and heals up all the damage you've done. A nice hook and shot off on the Reaper from our Roadhog and Widowmaker. Again, this Ana is really good. She gets a nice shot through onto the Roadhog, sleeps him, bionades him. I charge through because I see an opportunity to get the Ashe out of there. I see the Winston back here. Our Mei comes in and manages to kill the Winston. And we just barely manage to take the point here. The Mei does a really good job of zoning out that Bob ultimate from the Ashe. I come in, charge the Ashe, and again, the Mei does a great job of keeping people off the point. That Ana could have gotten in there if not for that. Zenyatta does a great job of taking out the Ana, and it's time for us to move on to point B. So right now, just going to go ahead and take a look at the compositions that we have going on here. Actually, one of their teammates did disconnect during this match, I assume because of like a connection error. I don't think they just left for no reason. But let's go ahead and look at the composition for our teams coming in here onto point B and analyze that. So for our team, for the team that I'm playing on right now, we have a Reinhardt, which is good for getting into these small chokes and dropping down onto the point if going up top, or going around to the sides and getting on with that big shield. Blocks a lot of the damage that comes into your team, and it gives your team... What the heck? It gives your... Whoa, that is so weird. It gives you... It gives... Oh boy, okay. It gives your team a lot of opportunity to shoot through that shield and deal some good damage to try and find an opening pick. We have the Widowmaker still, long range damage to shoot in through some of these chokes. We have the Mei, good choice for stalling out the point and freezing enemies on the point to try and allow your Widowmaker to get some good shots, as well as doing a good deal of damage with that alternate fire. We have me on the Reinhardt, I already said that. We have our Roadhog still, which I still like that choice because of the smaller HP pool targets on the enemy team, and then Zenyatta for a nice long range. So coming up here, it looks like we're going to take this top approach. I like this for our long range damage dealers, and then the Mei goes down to the bottom, which is actually a good choice to split off to try and freeze some people on the point or down here. So the Ashe does manage to get a good dynamite up here to get the Widowmaker to step back for a second. That gives their team some time to come out, poke some damage through. And it looks like the Reaper is a little bit AFK at the moment. Me and the Roadhog go to the side to try and zone them out. The Winston comes up here. I decide to try and charge and take out him. Take care of him down here. I don't remember if I died or not during that. I don't think I did. I could have used a little bit of healing though. That would have been nice. And that helps, having the Zenyatta's trance. That is a smart thing to do. The Ana puts in that Bionade during the trance from the Zenyatta, gives the enemy team some time to deal some damage and try and take out anyone that was bionated. It was me and the Roadhog, I believe, and that gave them the opportunity to take me down, especially with a nano boosted Winston. And yeah, that does a lot of damage, that mitigates a lot of damage. And again, the Mei doing a really good job of zoning out this Bob, however our teammates don't do a good job of not running into it. So that ends that push. However, we did manage to get rid of the nano boost, we got rid of the Bob, their Zarya is nowhere near her ultimate. The Winston and the Reaper do have their ultimates. They are at a bit better of an ult economy than us, but well, I guess there's not really any buts. I have my Earth Shatter and the Mei has her Blizzard. Those are both very good ultimates, can cause a lot of disruption, can cause a good zoning on the point. Gosh, excuse me. And it stuns enemies in order to let the teammates of the user come in and deal some good damage. I like these choices, these switches that our team is making. Though it does really put us at a disadvantage for ult charge, we were already at one, honestly, and we didn't really know that. The switch for the Hanzo from the Widowmaker is a really good choice. Widowmaker, it's very difficult to use Widowmaker on attack on this point because the only good sight lines you have are this main doorway over here and then this top ledge over here. The Reaper and the Winston are doing a very good job of zoning out this top ledge, and then down through this doorway you have the Ashe, the Moira, and the Ana who can deal a good amount of damage from far away from there. So I also like the switch from the Brigitte to the Baptiste, couldn't remember his name for a second, to the Baptiste, because you can see here he can put down this immortality field. I can block my teammates with the shield. I was talking about this earlier. It lets my teammates rain some damage through and take out any targets that we can. This immortality field is a really good idea to put in this choke here so that we can move through the choke without having that fear of being taken out. I also like the Baptiste because he puts out a bit more healing than the Brigitte does, and he can also do damage from long range, which is good for this comp that we're fighting against. So me and the Roadhog move in to try and push some of these enemies out of the way and make way for the rest of our team. We do manage to take out the Ana. The Moira is not doing too well either. This Roadhog is about to be frozen, and I'm about to charge at him. So that push goes pretty well. I still have... Oh, I don't have the... Hang on, let's go see where I use that Earth Shatter. Oh, that's weird. Hang on, let's let everything load in for a second here. See how I use this Earth Shatter. Okay, so I managed to stun the Roadhog, giving me and the Mei an easier chance to get to him without him healing. And see, like I said, this is a very good choice by the Mei. It's a good zoning ultimate. That Roadhog Whole Hog is also a very good zoning ultimate. And it keeps people off the point. And I did manage to charge straight into the Ana as she came down. It is unfortunate for them that they didn't manage to get their Winston down there in time with the Primal Rage, because that would have bought a lot of time, actually. I also just used my charge on that Ana right before he came in and primaled, so I wouldn't have been able to take him for a ride to, like, get him off the point for a little bit of time.